What is going on, YouTube land? So I finally did it, finally splurged, picked up myself a sweet little Airdog fuel system. This is the Airdog II 4G 165 GPH, and along with that, obviously here's the whole kit. Got the XDP fuel sump that has the feed and return set up on it. I already kind of was playing with it. And then I got the Fleece fuel filter delete / fuel distribution block. Kind of been messing with it already as well. Here's all my fittings. Got my 3-inch hole saw for the fuel sump, and a little 5-gallon doodad to catch all the fuel from whenever I cut this baby open. So let's get into it. I think the first thing I'll go ahead and do is make my hole in the fuel tank, put the fuel sump in there. Then I'll go ahead and I'll put the fuel system, install that guy, and then once I run the lines, I'll go ahead and install the fuel distribution block. One quick disclaimer before I start on this. I just want to say that this is not a DIY. There's plenty of good DIYs, including those made by Airdog. I'm going to be using Airdogs, and this other dude, his name is Horse Torques Diesel. And there's like a few other people on YouTube that I'm going to be following their walkthrough / DIY. By no means is this, like, I am not an expert. This is my first time doing this stuff, so hopefully I can let y'all know like the things that I learned and stuff that makes it easier to do, and yeah, should be sick. First thing with setting up for this whole job is you want to get your truck down to where you've got like 5 gallons or less. You can see I'm basically on empty. The fuel light is on. You can see up here, my do till empty is 72 miles. So that's super critical. And then obviously having something to catch the fuel is super important. I've got my 5-gallon fuel can right here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find my spot that I'm gonna cut into, and then I'm gonna put a pilot hole using the same size bit that comes with this 3-inch hole saw, and I'm gonna just put a little pilot hole in there. This is where I'm gonna do it, by the way. This is like one of the flattest spots. Put a little pilot hole in there, put my 5-gallon fuel can under here, catch all the fuel that I can, and then I'm gonna cut into this guy. All right, so the pilot hole is drilled. I am currently draining it right now. And I cannot stress this enough that, like, once you do this, I mean, it's done. You might be able to save your tank, but if you messed up, then that really blows. So just make sure that where you put your pilot hole is going to be the area that you want to cut your hole, because I don't know, it kind of gave me a little bit of an anxiety, and then I just did it. So just remember that. All right, so while the fuel is draining, I'm gonna go ahead and follow these step-by-steps that the Airdog has provided. I'm gonna be putting my fuel system on the outside of the truck, on the outside of the frame rail, so it is gonna be oriented this way. Yeah, again, like I said, not a step-by-step. Not a DIY video. There's plenty of those that are super good, done by professionals. So yeah, I'm gonna set this guy up while the fuel drains. Yeah, and then hopefully should be a fairly quick process. Hopefully total time it takes me 2 to 3 hours, I think. We'll see. All right, so I've made my hole, and I've put my nylon tape or my thread tape on my barb fittings, and this guy is ready to go. I'll show you guys the hole. It's still leaking a little bit of fuel. I put a little bit of fuel in it just to hopefully catch any additional plastics shavings that I didn't catch. But I'll go ahead and put that sandwich plate in there and keep it moving. All right, so quick update. I am dumb. Don't do what I did. I'm lucky that Airdog is cool. I have this just sitting in place here because I wanted to cut the lines, but when I was installing this, my torque wrench is just, it's out of cal, I guess. I put it at 5 foot-pounds and it never clicked until this dude just twisted off. I guess hindsight 2020, I should have had the wherewithal to be like, okay, that's weird, but it is what it is. Got in touch with Airdog and they are sending me out a new fitting. So that's pretty awesome. Didn't have to pay for it or anything. They're gonna pay for my mistake, so I really appreciate that. That is a really good beginning. So far, the kit is not tough to install. Just a little bit time consuming. As soon as I get this guy, it will be sick, but I'm gonna go ahead and continue to run this. I already got the connector that goes to the factory fuel sump disconnected. You can kind of see it right there. With this guy, it does have one of these little safety tabs here, but you can reach it and push on it no problem, and then you just push down on this little clip here. I found going through the wheel well was the easiest way to go about it, because my little connector was facing towards me, so I just had to push that red safety tab, and then I had to push it from the front going to the rear, and then just depress this guy and pull it towards me, and yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue to route these fuel lines, and then set up the harness, and then everything will be good to go until Thursday when I get that new fitting. So just got the fuel filter out, and I gotta say, that was a pain in the ass. I am surprised at how tough it was to remove that thing, but I'm not surprised. Because you've got your two hardware up here. Those are your main hardware securing it. You've got a banjo bolt right there. And then I would recommend taking the hardware out for the engine oil dipstick. And then following that, there is two pieces of hardware holding in these brackets. One's for an Allen, and then the other one is a normal bolt. And then you've got another fuel line right there, and another fuel line right there. And then I don't know if I said it already, but a fuel line right there. And those are all 17 mils. Pain in the ass. These back ones under here, I had to go underneath the car, underneath the truck, and use an extension and a swivel extension and all that other stuff. But it is removed, so that's cool. I'm gonna transfer over my fuel and water sensor, and probably this one if it will fit. And yeah. What is going on, YouTube land? It's been like a couple days. This is my old fitting. This is my new fitting. Airdog came through and they hooked it up. Did not charge me any money, because I'm sure that I'm not the first person to break this thing. I swear on my life I was torquing it and my torque wrench just did not indicate, and it just twisted off. So anyway, along with that, also got the different fleece part. So I'm not going to be using the distribution block, which is kind of unfortunate because I did want to. It is super, super nice. Fleece is actually going to be sending me a little plug for that guy right there. But the only way that I'd be able to make this work is if I cut my like the main line that comes from the Airdog that goes into the CP3. If I cut it right there where the fuel filter would go, and then I put these fat ass fittings, nice, spilled them all over, great. These fat ass fittings right here, if I put that guy right there, going to the Airdog, and then put another fitting going right there to the CP3 or right there, it'd be good to go. But I'm not gonna go that route just yet. Because I wanna do it right. I don't wanna just buy some lines, like go to Napa or something and buy some lines that I don't feel super good about. So for the project at hand now, I'm just gonna be putting this guy in, and then probably spend like 15 bucks or $12 so that I can continue to use my fuel pressure gauge, which sucks not being able to use my fuel pressure gauge. Really unfortunate, but it's only like $12, I think, from GlowShift's website to get the little T-fitting that will allow you to, again, splice in this hose right here, and then you just screw in the gauge. But anywho, another thing that I wish I had thought about or done the other day was just remove the fender liner, and then it gives me straight access to the fuel filter right there, and it would have made it a whole lot easier. But you gotta learn sometimes. In this case, with the fuel delete kit, you gotta pay for your education. So anyway, I'm gonna put that in, and then you already saw the fitting was replaced, and I should be able to go fill up my 5-gallon jug with some fresh gas and start this baby. So as you can see, that little baby is fully installed. I'm gonna give the fuel lines a little snuggy, finish installing the hardware retaining the delete block, and then I need to resecure the dipstick tube for my oil line. All right, cool. Everything is installed with the Fleece product. The only thing that I would recommend is to install it from the driver's side wheel liner. If you don't, it sucks. Honestly, I didn't think that it would be that tough to remove the fuel filter, but it was. It was a pain in the ass. And then the other thing, I don't see many people mention it, but this line right here, this line should no longer be like active, if you will, because that's what the Airdog takes care of whenever you directly route it from the fuel pump. So anyways, then over here, this was pretty simple. I mean, this thing has been beaten to death as far as installing it and the proper procedures for everything. So it's not even worth me talking about it. And there's not much for me to add as far as making it easy. I just put it a little bit behind my body mount right there. So probably like 8 or 10 inches. And then you all can see my fuel sump. Right now I've only got zip ties on this. It's kind of ghetto, but these fittings right here, they're pretty sturdy. Originally, I just put this guy on here, just kind of mocking it up, and then tried to pull it off, and I ended up ripping the hose. So I kind of think that it will be good for a short period, but I am going to put clamps on that because I just don't feel good about that at all. I would not drive anywhere far like that. I definitely am going to put clamps on it just because. But the routing, super simple. Just, I mean, you all can see it. And then I just followed my frame all the way up front and chased the firewall and did the exact same thing with my harness. And then for the harness up front here, I've just kind of coiled it up and placed it in here for now until I find a good spot where I want to install it. I'm thinking about putting it at this grounding post or at this post right here and just kind of wallering out this hole a little bit. But until then, it's just gonna hang out right there. Yeah, I'm gonna go get some fuel and I'll be starting this baby. All right, y'all, so got my go juice. Now what I'm gonna do, per the Airdog instructions, what they say is to disconnect a line going to the engine. So I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect this guy once I apply power to the Airdog. Let's see, got my keys in my pocket here. Damn, wrong keys. I thought I had them. Here they are. All right. Apply power to the Airdog, let it run, and disconnect that line. So I'm gonna disconnect that line first before I run it. All right, and then as soon as this has fuel coming out of it, I'll know that my Airdog is purged of air and ready to go. So you can hear it. You can hear it whirring. Then we're gonna go up front here, and as soon as the fuel, all right. Yep. That happened quick. Damn. Good stuff. Anyways, I tried to freaking try to put a shop towel there. Didn't do much. Anyways, awesome. So, guess I'll have to pressure wash that. Throw this away. I'll be right back with you guys to start this thing. All right. So, now it's time to start this baby. Unfortunately, my fuel pressure gauge won't be working right now, which really, really sucks. All right, I'm gonna recheck everything since we got that baby purged. All right, I can hear it filling, doing whatever it's doing. These lines are good, even though I hate that there's zip ties on them. Don't judge me, people. This is only temporary until I go to the Lowe's and go get hose clamps. Everything looks solid up here. Cool. We're gonna crank it. Boom. Like I said, it's really unfortunate that I'm not going to be able to see the pressure that the truck is currently making, the current line pressure with this Airdog setup. But I'll get that soon so that I can see my line pressure. Yeah, this thing is just going crazy because it's dead right now. But from Airdog, they say that they set it at the factory 15 to 17 psi. So yeah, once I get those fittings, I'll take you guys for a rip. But at this point, I'm just happy to be done with this thing. The secondary video that I'll make will be a ride along in the truck, showing the constant pressure that's maintained and just a normal ride along and how it is with the Bully Dog GT, because I haven't seen anybody that runs the Bully Dog GT because I think I don't know, it's not anybody's favorite tuner. So anyways, take care.